Hey everybody, it's me making another video today. Just got off work today and you know the rest. I'm tired and just thought I'd make a quick video today. I was gonna do a WrestleMania series, but I got a question for some of my subscribers and people watching. Do you want me to continue doing my WrestleMania series where I talk about the tag teams and the celebrities, the best celebrity moments and stuff like that, where I get up to 15? Or do you just want me to stop at 9? Because apparently my WrestleMania series is not getting enough views. One person made a comment that said it was boring, and of course it's not getting any star ratings and stuff like that. So just let me know if you want this WrestleMania series to continue, or if you don't want it to continue, and just me making wrestling videos or talking about stuff that's going on in sports or talking about stuff that's going on in wrestling or stuff like that. Just let me know and I'll get back to you on that, or let me know if you want me to keep doing the WrestleMania series until I get to 15, and I'll keep doing it. But if you don't want me to do it, then I'll stop doing it, and then I'll move on to something else and just start doing this wrestling forgotten gems my wrestling forgotten gems series, or any other videos. So let me know if you want me to do my WrestleMania series, keep continuing on with my WrestleMania series, because some people are not liking it and it's not getting enough views and it's not getting any star ratings. So just let me know about that. But anyhow, getting off that subject, because I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. This is gonna be my This was, like it said, supposed to be a WrestleMania series number 10, where I was gonna talk about the best tag teams. But like I said again, I didn't want to do that because I want to leave it up to you, the subscribers, or anybody who's watching this video, if you want me to continue that. But yeah, let's move on to this video. This is Wrestling for Gems, Forgotten Gems number 3. This is where I talk about where I talk about the most forgotten memories and forgotten wrestlers and the world of professional wrestling, forgotten storylines, forgotten feuds, just stuff like that. And I break it down. To you, and I explain why people shouldn't forget these type of things or matches or whatever. So we start off with this series we start off with we kick off number 3 in this series, where I talk about Virgil. So let's get down to business with Virgil. So Virgil started off as a bodyguard for the $1 Million Man. He was shining the $1 Million Man's shoes. He was giving the $1 Million Man. He was making his food. He was dressing him. He was doing everything. He was shining his belt. And this was a pretty intense angle back then. It was one of those angles back in wrestling whether you either liked it or you didn't like it. Some people didn't like it, and those were the people that thought it was racist, and they didn't like how the angle was going with Virgil being the black man and serving the white man and doing all that stuff that the black man was doing for the white man. Some people didn't like that because of that. Some people liked the storyline because it gave the $1 Million Man heat, and it made his character more hated. I for one am kind of neutral to that, because at one point I didn't like the storyline with how they were treating Virgil, and then I did kind of like it with the $1 Million Man getting heat and people hating him even more. But getting back to Virgil, he was the $1 Million Man's servant. He was doing things for him. Sometimes he didn't want to do the things that $1 Million Man asked him to do, but he still went on and did it. And then it finally broke down as there was a match at the Royal Rumble, I believe, Royal Rumble 1990. That you remember that Royal Rumble? It was where the Ultimate Warrior lost the WWE title to Sergeant Slaughter, and then it started the Warrior Savage feud, which led to WrestleMania 7 in a retirement match. But that's a whole nother video. But yeah, getting back to Virgil, $1 Million Man told him to shine his shoes and do this and that. Virgil got all upset because Million Dollar Man was just barking orders at Virgil, and he was telling him what to do and this and that, because Million Dollar Man and Virgil, I believe, got embarrassed, or they lost the match to Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes. And apparently Virgil took offense. He got upset. He just tear-eyed, and then he went on and punched the Million Dollar Man in the face. Well, hit him with the $1 million belt, and the crowd went nuts, and that cemented Virgil's single status, as he would end up feuding with $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and the feud would lead to a match between the two at WrestleMania 7, where he was showing some moves in the match, but still wasn't really that good of a match. But entertainment wise, it was okay. I mean, you got the Virgil, the bodyguard, against the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and of course, the match ended in a DQ, and then, of course, Virgil was getting beat down. Rowdy Piper made the save, and, of course, that led to a rematch between the two at SummerSlam 1991, where Virgil would go on to win the $1 million belt, where he would only be the $1 million champion for, I guess, 1 or 2 months before dropping the belt to $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, but still very good. Very, very, very good accomplishment for Virgil, as this would be his only singles title in the WWE. Of course, he would be a jobber, jobbing to the stars, as he would job to men such as Bret the Hitman Hart, the Mountie, and many other superstars. But of course, he would occasionally win some of his matches. He got one of his biggest push to date, I believe, when he became Sid's punching bag, when Sid powerbombed him in a match that the two had, and then Sid broke Virgil's nose, and of course Virgil would have to wear that protective mask, and yeah, he would look silly with that on. He would then go on to have 8-man tag matches at WrestleMania 8, and then he would go on to job even more, and then he would get his taste of victory against a newcomer, Bastion Booger, but then Bastion Booger would go on to beat him, and then pretty much he wasn't really doing much. He had another big match against Yokozuna where he got squashed, and then of course after that he was just floundering even more, and he was jobbing even more. Went on to WCW to become the associate or the bodyguard of the NWO. Of course, he'd be the job guy, the punching bag of the NWO, and he would lose a lot of matches in WCW. But my point about this video was, my point about the Wrestling Forgotten series is Virgil was, for what he was pretty entertaining. He was over with the crowd. He was just your typical babyface in the WWF around that time. But there is one thing that you can say about Virgil, though, is he had more victories than Koko Beware. I mean, Koko Beware did win some of his matches, but Virgil had more victories than Koko Beware, and he had more high-profile matches. Now, that's not saying that Virgil should make the Hall of Fame, because he won more matches than Koko Beware, and he actually won a title in wrestling. That's not saying that, but the thing about Virgil is he shouldn't be forgotten, because in my opinion he was a hard worker, and had he been given that big push, had the WWF pushed him into at least an Intercontinental title program, and of course, or being the Intercontinental champion, he would have been something big. But of course WWE didn't want to do that. They wanted him to be the job guy like Koko Beware, and thus many people just don't tend to remember Virgil, because they only remember at least one thing about Virgil, but they don't remember his whole career. But yeah, anyhow, that's just my video about my Wrestling Forgotten Gems, Virgil, talking about his whole career and stuff like that, and why Virgil shouldn't be forgotten, and some of the things that he did do in wrestling, and the reasons why he shouldn't be forgotten. Hope you like my video. You can rate, you can comment, you can give me a video response if you like, and like I said in the beginning of this video, let me know if you want me to continue doing my WrestleMania series. If not, then I won't do any more of those videos. But till then, thank you for watching. I'm out.